Dun, 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 dun. Okay, 1 minute and delay, but that's fine, I guess. So, welcome to Inspo Saturday show. It is a show. It's a horror show today. No, it's not. It's something we. It was a little bit obvious, wasn't it? But we need to see what's going to happen next. Intro music. Yeah, yeah, Esan. I'm really thinking about. I would like to make some, I don't know, such kind of weekend, so Saturday crypto show, to fool people, to make some jokes and gags, because yeah, sometimes the crypto community is giving you so much stuff for that. It would be really sing up. I'm a really bad singer, believe me. I don't want to lose followers. Yeah, no, come on, don't be an ass now. Um, so I need to sleep too. In India, okay, then I notice we need to go. Waiting for the scam pump. Yeah, patience is always the key, and that's something we all have to learn. Even me, it's just patience, 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 patience. It will come. As told, it's happening Saturday nights and Sunday. For me, it's not Saturday night, but yeah, obvious that's the problem. Maybe in India it's the Saturday night and you're waiting for the scam pump, but it's not my time, unfortunately. We need to optimize our communication, I guess. So let us start with the actually with our Saturday's live stream. Just first of all, I would like to say thank you very much for all your support, for all the time, and also, of course, for Mughal, Justin, Ben, and all people. They are helping and supporting. Also, Mandalore, te mando un abrazo, compi, um, for all the support of the last few months, and we will make it. You will see. So let us start, as usual, with the wealth ratio, and maybe we skip the wealth ratio chart and we go directly, first of all, to the 30 days moving average, because that's, in my opinion, the most important one. And oh, I'm missing my lovely Epic Pen app, right? That just takes a minute. I still don't have access to my to trading light. That's really, yeah, it's absolutely sad because I love to work with trading light, but my credit card, my activation code is still not here. So I'm okay now. So as you can see here, and hopefully you all can see that, just say yes or tweet a heart or whatever you want just to confirm that. Well, nobody is confirming that, means everything works fine. Great. So, as you see, I was actually expecting, I mean, that's maybe just a little retrace and it will go down even more. I think that's going to happen, but that's critical. If I see it's lifting up again, we need to see what's going to happen next, because if it starts to lift up again, it means that was really just a foretaste. In my opinion, that is just a foretaste. In my opinion, the big thing is still to come, and next week it's going to be really a challenge. We will take a look to the investing calendar later on, and we will talk about the different events and maybe a possible impact to the price. If we take a look, for example, here, and I have tweeted about that, the weights ratio 1 hour time frame is indicating another dump, usually when that happens, that means that they are planning to lift up the price afterwards, or even to have a pump. You remember that was 2 weeks ago we had such kind of pattern, and I have mentioned that be careful. I think we will go up afterwards, and we did it. So that's the thing. I mean, only down doesn't exist, only up doesn't exist. That's market rule number one. So we will go down, but it will retrace. We will go up a little bit. We will go down even more. We will go up again, and we will go down even more. And that's fact. That's what usually it should happen. Scam pumps just go up without to retrace a little bit, and that's why it doesn't hold really long. Sometimes a few days to distribute, and then it dumps back to its level. And that's something maybe I'm expecting again to go up, maybe to 30. Let us make 31. If they want to generate FOMO this weekend, and maybe Monday, Tuesday, in my opinion, Monday, Tuesday could be green because it was very red last week, at the end of last week. Everything looks overheated, too many panic, and usually the market reacts in the opposite way. So it should lift up afterwards and should give Bitcoin the opportunity to push up as well. That could explain why we are seeing this weights ratio 1 hour dumps, because weights are not dumped. This guys know exactly what's going to happen next, main of them. And when the weights ratio dumps in such way, means that the market maker is doing its job and preparation. So if we take a look to the weights ratio 30 hours moving average, for example, also indicating it was lifting up again, that explain that was also a short-term preparation for what is coming. I'm not going to make any teaser, but I was a little bit struggling what FTX is doing, my best friend Sam. I don't think you are watching this analyst, but if you're watching, Sam, thank you, man. You are making a great job. Yeah, so we will take a look here. By the way, maybe your name is Sam, but I mean Sam from FTX. Friedman, Sam. So just to make it clear. We take a look here to the stablecoin reserves on exchanges. It was declining, and even here it started to lift up. That doesn't look like the centralized exchanges were refilling their reserves. It looks like someone is bringing some stablecoins back to the exchanges. I was also noticing some whale alerts, not big. We are not talking about 600 million, 700 million. No, but enough to push up a little bit. We are not going to make a crazy rally in the next 48 hours, in my opinion. Maybe a scam pump, so it's very aggressive to flip people back to bullish. Well, I mean, if I take a look to the long-short ratio on Binance related to futures, I would say many are still too bullish, but they could just fool people again with such kind of scam pump, and we need to keep in mind that. And the stablecoin supply is also here, as you can see, it was declining, then lifted up, declined afterwards again, and it's lifting up again. So they burned, they mined it again, stablecoins, they burned again, and so on and so forth. Right now they are mining. And yeah, so it doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't look that bearish anymore. It's showing so the first bullish light, but you know my scenario, right? I mean, next week could be really hardcore bearish. And if they make the scam pump, if we maintain there, if we go up even more just because the equity market will start green, for example, many people would say the bottom is in. I would be very careful with that. It's too early to say the bottom is in. So yeah, let us take a look to the flow activity. And the first thing we can see is green. It's what bulls need at the moment. Red, well, someone is taking profit and taking out their stablecoins from the centralized exchanges. And orange, at least here, means they are sending more bitcoins to spot exchanges. The last order is actually, yeah, well, wait. No, okay. It's actually also relatively big because our volume is not that big at the moment with 1,200 Bitcoin. So we need to be very careful here. I think I said 20. Oh, okay, and another 6. Thank you very much, CryptoQuant. That's the first time that happened. That was wow. As you see, the last Bitcoin inflow to spot exchanges, it's 620, so it's declining. Of course, we need to see. I think 28K is the local bottom. We should go up a little bit again. We need to see if 29.5, maybe even 30K, if they are going to bring some FOMO back and bring such kind of scam pump again. And yeah. And then we need to see what's going to happen in the next few days, right? So outflows, the only one, and that was actually a big one, that was just a few hours ago, 4,000 Bitcoin. And that's really big. And at the moment we are talking about 800, yeah, 850, 880 Bitcoins outflow, so not that big. And if we check the stablecoin net flow, so the net flow just indicates inflows minus outflows, and we see it's really relatively flat, nothing big happening. But we received, I mean, just for example, yesterday evening, 200 million here, another 100 million here, another 100 million. We are talking about 400 million, another 80 million here, and so on and so forth. So they were accumulating stablecoins there just to buy the dip. They didn't buy here big, to be honest. And in my opinion, they started to buy here somewhere below 28.7. And in my opinion, we should go up again. So if we take a look to the future market, so here we see what happened to the funding rate. So demanding much more longs than shorts. Right now it's declining a little bit, indicating that the demand for shorts it's at the moment a little bit bigger than for longs, but nothing big. The open interest declined a little bit, but it's rising, indicating also that people are demanding right now, or at least they are placing more shorts than longs at the moment. But here, that was just, I don't know what happened here. I mean, that's crazy because if we take a look, oh, sorry. If we take a look, for example, hi doggy, hi sweetie. So if we take a look, for example, here we received two derivative exchanges close before the funding rates went up, 4,476 Bitcoin. And while we had an outflow of 3,750 Bitcoin. So yeah, in my opinion, it seems someone is longing with Bitcoin. We will take a look to the CBD afterwards just to see if we can detect something there. Stablecoins, nothing really big. to be honest. So a lot of outflows. So every big whale that was shorting, it seems it's taken profit. However, you see we received also here 160 million, and the funding rate was lifting up. So yeah, and since then relatively flat. I mean, 57 million. That's not really 52 million. It's okay, but nothing big, right? So I think, yeah, even if it's going to be a small scam pump, maybe $1,000 or something, it seems they want to long and to make more money or more bitcoins with that. If we take a look to the blockchain whispers, and let me check here. Okay, thank you very much. Could you please refresh Binance? Thanks. If we take a look here, it looks extremely bearish in my opinion. I mean, 1.9 billion in longs versus 700 million. But that's happening all the time. All the time. While we were declining, all the time. And yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, that could be partly whales because it's really strange. It's, in my opinion, just really strange that shorts didn't really rise while we were declining, and even the funding rate was negative or declining hard, so indicating they were demanding more shorts. Well, I mean, Bitfinex, at least we can say on Bitfinex, shorts rise from 70 million to 100 million. That's a joke compared to their longs, but I don't care about Bitfinex. I would care here related to Ethereum, and even here, and you see we have here also a long-short ratio of 70 to 30, or here 83 or almost 84 to 60. That's incredible. That's really, I mean, that's just saying that the people maintains their bullish sentiment. After a year of brainwashing, moon, it's really difficult for people to flip, to be honest. I mean, I'm also saying we are not going to crash. For me, 24K would be the max, just because of the CME gap. But maybe some whales watching my analysis sometimes they're laughing at me. They are saying, "Poor, poor guy. We will dump it harder than he think." It's possible. So we need to see. However, that should attract someone. I mean, to be honest. Okay, we see here also a big long liquidation, but it's between, yeah, I would say 25 to 26,000, where we have here between 29.5 and 31. So it's the big question if we are going to go in that direction or in that here. In my opinion, we are first going to that direction here. If we check FTX, and I guess that takes a little bit of time as usual, we will take a look to the entities because the market maker, oh yeah, that's great, thank you. And also here we can see what happened. It's just too big to ignore that, and that's really big. So in my opinion, we could maintain the current level of 28 and 28.5 just to create a little bit more bearish sentiment, and people will say, okay, it's not done, it's not the local bottom, we will go down even more. That's what they did last year, for example, in the spring before we went up like crazy. If they keep working like last year, for example, they will maintain that a little bit to just to let this growth a little bit more and then go up like crazy. However, I maintain at the moment my bearish sentiment, but because nothing essentially just changed, you know. I mean, my main point is based on option trading. We have received a lot of volume for 32, 33, 34 short term, so many are expecting to go up anyway, and only down doesn't exist. That's how it works. So the market maker loves to buy the dip, to go up, to sell the top, and then even go lower. That's absolutely fine. So we need to see here. And when I'm talking about the market maker, surprise, surprise, what the market maker did. Yes, I was checking him and I said, oh, the market maker was active. 1,890 Bitcoin. He bought here something at between 28.5 and 28.2. At least we can see a fund flow, and that indicates he sent Bitcoins to an exchange or he bought and he's sending back. So the next step is to take a look here and to see what happened. Oh, it lifted up. So he bought. And that means not big. We are not talking here he is now accumulating. I mean, I would wonder if we start to maintain that price level and the balances starts to rise and I see fund flows, but nothing that is linked to any sell operation, that means he is starting to accumulate. I don't think that he is going to accumulate here, to be honest. I really think that was just a foretaste of what's going to happen next. The weights ratio was too high, and we just did $2,000 dump or something. I mean, last year happened that was exactly the same situation. We didn't a dump of $10,000 with a high weights ratio, but it was a different story. We had more demand. We had even a part of the whole China traders on board. Everyone is gone. I mean, the volume declined, the demand declined, and so on and so forth. So I think it's a different story this year with the last year, but to see the weights ratio that high like last year shows me that these guys are ready to push the price even more down, and we are not talking about 28K in my opinion. So of course we need to see, and we need to track the data. We need to make every day a conclusion to adapt the whole data and our conclusions to our trade strategy, and that's how it works. It takes time, but that's it. If we take a look, for example, to these entities, they bought a little bit, but it seems they pushed the price a little bit more down, maybe also to buy. We need to see. I mean, if I check here, they sent here, for example, 1,400 Bitcoin, and afterwards we dumped even more. And also, for example, the entities with 10 to 100 Bitcoins sent 1,000 Bitcoin. If we check also those, yeah, declined. Not big, but declined. And that's how it works. I mean, they are pushing even a bit more down, not really to generate fear, because it's more so a soft landing. That's not like last year. Last year was just to prepare to absorb from the weekends. That's not what they are doing. That's really not what they are doing. If they want to do it, it's not time yet. Maybe next month, next week, sorry, next week. But even it's possible to see that end of this month and the beginning of next month, because end of June and beginning of July we received a lot of puts and lower levels. And when we are talking about option trading, of course, that's the next chapter we will take a look to. So I'll refresh and we will see. Well, as mentioned, they shifted, of course, to lower ranges. So we have a put call at 25K. We have another one at 28. So yes, I mean, they can break the 28. It's possible, but we have a nice support there, a nice put support. So we need to see what's going to happen there, and still 30K, and that's a challenge. So if we want to go up 30K, it's going to be a nice resistance we have to break first. If we take a look to the GAGs, I guess it's minus 34K, also very negative, and usually when that happens, we go up. Like we have seen here, for example, we went from 35 to 39 and even more, at least to 44, and afterwards we dumped again. So it's not going to happen in the next hours. That can take really 1 day, 2 days. We need patience. That's the only thing. We need to control our emotions. Some people, they are sending me DMs and tweeting and saying, no up. And a few hours later, no, we go down. And then, yeah, the market is wrong. No, the market is wrong. You are wrong. Because the market is the market. You need patience. Just make your homework. Check the market. Check the data. Make your conclusions and stick to your trade strategy. A trade strategy you can adjust a little bit. Depends on the data you are seeing, for example. But it's not about, oh, we are dumping even more, so I need to flip my whole trade strategy. That's not how it works. Otherwise, you don't need any strategy. Just play emotional and, yeah, long and short, whatever you want. It doesn't make sense. For me, it doesn't make sense. You need patience. You really need patience. That's absolutely the key. If you think it's going to 29K and you failed, it doesn't mean you were absolutely wrong. Okay? Maybe it's going to make 28.5. Then it's fine. You will kick your own ass if you closed with loss, for example, you're long, and then from 28.5 it's just going back to 30. You would say, oh, crazy. The market is wrong. No, the market is not wrong. You need to play the market's rule. The market will never play your rule. So that's what we need to have in mind. Patience. Really patience. First of all, let us go to statistics just to see if we see any big premium USD. Oh, nice. Short risk reversal, 200,000. Custom strategy, 200,000. For a Saturday, that's not that bad. Beer call spread, 150. Call calendar, 74. Interesting. I mean, yeah, you need to be consistent. I mean, if the market is wrong, it's wrong all the time. Not 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 now. It's wrong all the time. Even when you are making money with it, it was wrong. But that's not how it works. I mean, the market, it's not wrong. Your beers is then wrong, or your skills are wrong. Maybe you don't have the experience for that market or whatever. Everything is possible, but usually the market is not wrong. You were wrong. That's how it works. So let us take a look here. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. It's not big. It's Saturday. However, premium USD 150, 213, 200. It's not that bad. So what we see here, beer call spread Yeah, well, he refinanced. It's September for June. Oh, useless and useless. Why useless? Because he sold for 25 and bought for 5. So I don't know how much money he did with this 25, but usually when he's spending, for example, in that case, really just 20% of what he got in premium for his former instrument, that's like a bet. Hopefully it works out. And that's not useful for us. And it's not big volume anyway. So, yeah, nice to see that, but short risk reversal. August. I don't care about August. Not yet. And also here, that's a bet. Maybe he will sell in July this instrument and will get, for example, 80K instead of 68 and will make anything else. So also not really custom strategy. Please give me something. Yeah, yeah, that looks great. Oh, look. I mean, that's not, that's, I mean, he sold 400 lots of 34K calls and got 45K, and he spent 100K more to adjust his expectations at least, and he bought for June 24th calls 30K. That's interesting and would indicate, well, that in the next 2 weeks we should go up, at least based on what he is trading here. But he is not the only one. We have seen that before, right? I mean, June 24, if we take a look, for example, to the premium, we have 2.6 million for, yeah, calls 32K. 2.4 million for 33K calls. And for December, okay, for December, 1.6 million for puts 25K. So for July, also 25K puts, 1.3 million, and so on and so forth. So for the next 2 weeks, they're expecting to lift up and to stay above of 32K. And to be honest, if we zoom out, that would make sense. That really would make sense. Doesn't mean that's over and we will moon afterwards. I guess many of you, or at least traders, influencers, and so on and so forth, will tell you moon next, 70K. I have a special friend recently on Twitter. He was saying it, yeah, you should shame if you are shorting at 30K. And I just did a joke and said, in 2 weeks you will say it's a shame to short the 25K. And to be honest, yeah, he was calling 70K for the next month, and he is saying that we will crash afterwards to 3K. I would say he is a little bit extreme in his analysis to say 70K and then 3K. But however, I mean, if he think and he has 70,000 followers, why not? Why not? So, okay, let us take a look here to the option flows. If we see something that could be interested, put sell block 25K and call sell block 34K, call sell 120. I mean, of course, the market is bearish, but not that bearish. Absolutely not. And they are closing even more puts than calls. It's also interesting. Huh. Okay. Let us take a look to the next expiries. That could be also interesting. Oops. So we see here, yeah, puts 28K, of course. June 12th. That's premium, but not USD, right? No. Wow. They are paying here much more. Okay. And max paying 29. Let us take a look to the 13th. Also crazy, 28.5. As mentioned, maybe we will go up and down again. 30K puts, wow, almost 2 millions. Okay, so at 30K. Very interesting. I mean, yeah, indeed, it shows also here we should go up. What the hell? 19 million and puts 35, 17 million and puts 40K. Wow, crazy guys. Max Payne 33. Premium maybe here also to see what's happening here, and that's July. Do we have something? June 17th. He spent 150,000 for puts 25, puts 27. 17 is next Friday. Yeah, would match. Actually, that's what I would expect as well. Okay, interesting. So we see, at least for this month, for the end of this month, they are expecting to go up. Of course, now because of the price action, even option traders, we are not talking about millions and millions, but for the next few days, they're expecting, well, a price below of 28, 28.5, 29K. We need to see. Unfortunately, I don't see if that's part of a strategy. Otherwise, it would be part of my sheet here. I don't know. I really, yeah, I would struggle a little bit here because, in my opinion, if we take a look, for example, here to the custom strategy of the last 2 days, well, no, it wasn't really useful because I don't know what these guys did here. Look at that. I mean, wow. I don't know what they did here. But however, 30K calls, a lot of calls. So it seems they know something, but it's not really clear. In my opinion, they are expecting to go, yeah, really short term up again and then down to 25, 24 or something. Short race reversal. We can take a look here, just a quick one. That's September. That's nothing, low volume. Well, let's take a look to these CBDs. And that's something that's not surprising me. You see that? That's the BTC USD spot CBD by FTX. And we really need to see what's going up here because while Binance is lifting up, FTX is now selling. I mean, just check that and look what FTX is doing. So, but let us zoom out and you will see much more what's happening here. You remember what I mentioned a few weeks ago? Hopefully you know. I have said, I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense to me what FTX is doing here. What happened? No, not PERP. Not PERP. Give me spot. Thanks. And 30 minutes. So. And apparently, FTX is starting to sell here. And that doesn't make any sense. The only thing, and that could be a really big pain, if they are confirming what I said a few weeks ago, and many of you know that, I said, what FTX is doing doesn't make sense. The only sense it makes that an institutional is here playing on FTX. And if we zoom out, yeah, we had here a bull trap, here another one, but it was a sideways run. Usually, institutionals, if they have a sideways run, many people say they are accumulating. Yeah, but accumulation doesn't mean they are going to use that to push up the price and then to sell the top or even sell the way up. Sometimes, and institutional likes to do that because they trade different as we do, for example. For them it's an invest. If I need to invest now 200 million to push the price down even more and to buy 500 million then in bitcoins but $3,000 cheaper, that makes sense to me. So they start to accumulate here to dump afterwards really hard. I'm not saying they are confirming that, but at least it looks really strange that FTX have started to sell at 29.6. Really strange because they bought at 30, 31, 32, yeah, almost 32K. And I think they will stop. I hope at least they will stop soon. Maybe lift up again. But taking into account what they are doing right now, I could expect the whole thing what they did, it's an institutional using FTX, and they loaded the new gun. And next week could be really, and I'm expecting that not only because of the events, but weights ratio and so on and so forth. If they start to nuke with that, that's going to be a really big challenge because you see what Binance is doing anyway. And that's really hard. If we take a look, for example, here, oh God, let me repeat. If we take a look here, for example, that's Bitcoin margin contracts. They are not really longing. The only thing, of course, futures here, as you see, right? So if you take a look to the price, if you compare that with the stablecoin, it's absolutely obvious that that's the main driver of the market. But that's going to be a very interesting part. What's going to happen because they accumulated quick, but accumulated a lot. I mean, that's only the CVD. It's not showing you how much they accumulated, but if we take a look, for example, that was the peak, 26,655 bitcoins. And that's the cumulative volume delta. So usually they have bought much more. Well, we'll see. If they start to nuke from here, okay, that would be extremely crazy because from here, with the current volume, I don't want to bring some worst case scenarios right now, but in my opinion, it's not going to happen. In my opinion, it shows strange that FTX is selling right now from here. I think it will maintain a little bit, but in my opinion, that was just a foretaste. If they start to sell next week, we can see 25, 24 without any doubts. So that's could be really a hardcore week next week. And why we are uh, talking about the invest calendar, let me take a look. Because, yeah, here it is, perfect. And for next week, let me clear everything. Wow, wow. Hello, mouse. I should control you, not, not you me. Apply. Next week. And next week is going to be really, really. I mean, we know what happened last week with the CPI. It was obvious. So when Wall Street is saying, what? The inflation is rising? Yeah, surprise, surprise, mate. It's rising. Really? What happened in the last few months? Something changed essentially? No, it didn't. So of course the inflation is going to rise even more and more and more. It's stupid what they are talking to the media. Oh, it's surprising us. No, it's not. They are making billions with inflation right now. They know exactly that the inflation is even lifting up more. The, to be honest, the central banks just reacted too late, and even politicians didn't. I mean, I don't know. Central banks usually should be independent, but I mean, Biden meeting with Powell. I mean, they are not talking about the weather, right? So, in my opinion, the government was extremely right with just with ECC's with the Fed's agenda of maintain the printer on. And now we are in a situation you need you need to make a decision that's going to kill something. It will kill your economy, or it will kill you the economy and the taxpayers. So it's really a situation, and I'm warning about that since month. It's a situation where you don't have any options anymore. You just need really to kill something. That's what it is. So even many are saying, yeah, before they kill the economy, they're going to print again. If they print again, they will not only kill the economy. It will the whole economy will collapse afterwards. The inflation will rise even more. It will accelerate this development. So it doesn't make absolutely any sense. We have some problems in our economy that we can't fix anymore with our own monetary policy, because it's a global problem, and we are globalized. And that's actually the main issue. So, Fed interest rate decisions, FOMC press conference, FOMC statement, what Powell is going to tell, retail sales for May, core retail sales for May, PPI May, I mean Tuesday, Wednesday, and yeah, I mean Friday, initial jobless claims once again. It's going to be a huge challenge for the markets to maintain that. So I think Monday, maybe Tuesday, could be green, and I'm expecting a rising volatility from here. And in my opinion, we are going to see new lows to the downside, of course. So yeah, I still think less than 26K. But first of all, only down doesn't exist. So we will go up a little bit more, maybe 30, 31. I don't know if they are going really. I don't know how the Monday will start or the Tuesday. But if it's green, and let us take a look to SPY. I mean, 390, that's a support. SPY should decline from here at least to 103.50 or even back to 103. If that's going to happen Monday, Tuesday, SPY will start really calm because Friday was a big challenge for them, and afterwards it should go up again to its resistance of 410. If that's happening, and that would be a really small rally then, in my opinion, maybe it's just going to make, I don't know, 401 or something, but it would be at least 11 points up. Bitcoin should follow, and that means we could go up again to 30,400, maybe even go up again to 31,400 and 32, just to generate some FOMO. That's what I have at least in my mind. However, I know the situation right now, and I know that these events are going to be very important. Fed will not tell us we are going to land soft. I mean, they will tell us because that's the rhetoric they use, don't to spread any panic. But they are not going to tell us, for example, we will print again. It's not going to happen. That's not going to work. So it's very clear next week we will nuke very hard, and I want to be on the right side then. So I still think that we will go up, and at least until Monday, something like 20, 29, 300, and maybe 30K, and then lift up step by step with SPI, SPX, and so on and so forth, while DXY is losing his position here and decline. However, I'm still convinced that DXY is going to retest its 105. Let us take a look here. Will make its retest here of this multi-years resistance, and I even can imagine it will surprise a lot of people because many will think, oh, wrong color. Many will think that's it, double top, right, and then nuke. I would be very careful with that. I really would be very careful. I could imagine even a bull trap to 100, hitting 108. That's going to do, wow. Equities will nuke hard, and even Bitcoin. But also that it's a process. That's not going to happen in one day, not in 1 week. We will go up like it's doing it, right? It's going to up, then down, then more up, then down again, more up, and so on and so forth. And that could happen in the next weeks. And yeah, we need to see. So I'm still bearish. I don't see here anything that would give me a sign that we are going. Well, we don't need to talk about moon, but even 40K. I don't see that yet, to be honest. So 32, 33 would be for me a very realistic scenario, and then dump and nuke. Yeah, and as mentioned, unfortunately, that's not working. Unfortunately, I can't pay with PayPal, with anything, only credit card. As long my credit card maintains deactivated, I can't pay that. So that's it for today. Let me take a look. 1 hour and 40 minutes. Not bad. Okay, then let us go to our questions. Live stage. I closed the yeah. Two questions? Only two questions? Really? Really? Are they shy or something? Hey guys, you can. I think. Okay, okay. Maybe we can sing afterwards for 10, 15 minutes just to close the gap or something. I was too funny, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, it matches. No, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, then let us take a look. Mandalore, campeón. Vamos. I was reading your thread with Justin, and my question is, how much would minor capitulation theoretically, Jesus, as a German English, it's like pain in the ass, really, affect the price? Would we drop to low 20s? I'm not a fan, to be honest, of drop below 20s, but I mean, miners own 1.8 million bitcoins. If they start to capitulate, and also, for example, many people were saying, yeah, but last year, are you comparing last year with the current year? I mean, energy crisis, so the rising prices, everything. I mean, everything is rising. The inflation, it has an impact to them as well, fixed costs, and so on and so forth. So I think if they start to sell, they will start much more than last year. If they start to sell, we need to see. I mean, exchanges will try to prevent that. It's if the market starts to decline more. We remember last weekend, Coinbase 1 hour candle, 60 Bitcoin volume. I mean, come on, what the hell is that? So if the price dumps even more, retailers will not go in. Just the brave one, like we are. We are still in the market. I'm buying some altcoins. Yeah, I don't care if they are bleeding 10, 15% more. It's long term. I don't care. I really don't care. Okay? Many will not join the market because of that. And exchanges like Coinbase, they need the masses. Binance as well. I remember last year, that was in September, I think, they were talking that the revenue of Coinbase was rising because of Shiba. Well, take a look to Shiba. Who is going to buy Shiba at the moment? Or Doggy? Or or even Bitcoin? No, just to be serious. I mean, it's really tough times, and they are, in my opinion, very stressed at the moment. So if they can't prevent that and miners start to capitulate, everything is possible. Really, then everything is possible because they will trigger a chain reaction. And I tell you, I'm not going to sell any bag. Not because I'm brave, not because no, it's long term. I don't care. I really don't care if I buy my Luxor for $5, what I did, and I take a look and see the price dumped by $1.30. That's a lot. But okay, it will give me much more money later on. That's what I think. I'm not spending millions. I'm really not spending millions. I'm spending step by step, buying a little bit, and I just say, okay, the money is spent, and that's it. I let the coins there for the next few years, and then we will see what's going to happen. That's what I'm doing. But yes, when miners start to capitulate, it's time to run for many. Short, 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 short. We will retrace a little bit, but then it will start to be really, really hard. Then next question, bad boys. So it's many guys with one account, it seems. Bad boys 1055. Okay, let's say if BTC bottoms around 22 or 23, how high of range would it be ranking it? 22 to 32? Well, it depends. I mean, it bottoms. If it bottoms, usually whales will start to accumulate. And then it depends how much they accumulate. If they start to accumulate a week, yeah, 33, 34, 35 max. Distribute there, dump afterwards again. Then 22 wasn't their level. Then they will buy even cheaper. Then we are talking about 18, 15, whatever. I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. I don't think so. Because at the moment I don't see the as mentioned different time, it's a process. Nothing happens in one day or in 1 week. That can take months, and we will see 35 until then, and even 24 later on, and then we will see even 37, and we will see later on 22. Everything is possible, but that's how this market works, so it wouldn't surprise me. It depends of the accumulation time. If we see they're accumulating and we can track that with some different indicators, we can track if they are accumulating and how big the accumulation is, then we can start to talk about, yeah, how high the next rally could go, for example. La Satarra. La Satarra. Okay. Do you believe this is the local bottom? 28K? Yes. Yeah. At the moment, I think that. I mean, if I, for example, see 3,000 bitcoins coming into the inflows, for example, that could change my opinion, of course. But yes, I think 28, it's the local bottom. We will go up again. And we will see a price below 28 in the next few weeks. In my opinion, next week, but we see. Sebastian Sash, what do you think? What will happen to crypto and stock market? Keeps on crashing? Well, it depends of if we are talking about the next few weeks, the next few months, the next few years. The global situation right now, it's really worse, but not it could go worse. Yeah, just imagine it can. And it will. In my opinion, it will. Because it needs, first of all, we need a new political agenda, and that's not going to happen. That's sub-realistic to think that everything will change, and I don't know. It's not going to happen. So with the tensions with China, with the problems with Russia and war, and so on and so forth, I think the whole situation will get worse. But in some time, it seems that many, even politicians, we know that Nancy Pelosi's husband has both calls for next year in March and June. We also have seen, for example, some very bearish but also very bullish options for next year. As said, that's a process. So I can imagine that something is going to happen. Many of them has insider information. We will have a bear market until, well, a bear market. We will have such kind of market with more bearish price action than bullish price action for the next month, going high but drop even more, going high and drop even more. But in history of markets, because before a recession, we always had an exit rally, always. But it makes sense because institutionals and big whales are not going to pay the bill. Who is paying the bill? Yeah, exactly. We are going to pay the bill only if we are not going to make our homeworks. And that's what we are doing every day. So we need to track what these guys are doing, and if we can figure that out, we need to follow them. And that's the thing. But yeah, in my opinion, it would make sense after the summer holidays, maybe from September on, to go up again. Maybe until June. FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. For them, they think in different time frames than we do. They think in weeks, they think in months. They don't think in hours or days, even, yeah, well, weeks. So to FOMO means be aggressive. The media will spread some positive news. Okay, inflation declined by 0.5%. That's a signal. That's a signal. We fixed everything. That's going to tell you. And many are not going to ask if it's true, if it makes sense or whatever, and will jump in. And that's what we are doing here. We are not just believing what the media is telling us. We are not just letting our emotions trade for us. Our goal is really to detect and to track what the big money is going to do, because they are the market. I have a question by Count Dracula. We saw huge inflows of ETH earlier. Yes. Can you see anything in your quant charts for where that is going? Surely they wouldn't say the bottom. Well, it depends. I mean, yesterday Ethereum did minus 5%. So let me see. You want to see? I know what you mean. Okay. Yeah, I can, but I need to set up my. As you see, I just have some few charts here. To change everything to Ethereum, that's going to be a pain right now. Let me check here, maybe. Let us try quick. Incomplete data? Why incomplete data? June 11th. Uh-huh. Okay, never seen that. So let me take a look. Exchange inflows. Exchange inflows. Yeah, that's total, and we make spot instead. And we can see. Mm, I mean, here that was May 14th. We received a lot, but if I take in hours, maybe we can see something. So that was even in May, but since then, I think that was just in Sun, wasn't it? But no, in the last hours, at least not to spot. Let us take a look to derivatives. At least more. Let us take a look here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They are sending to derivative exchanges. It's not spot. It's not to sell. We don't know if they want to short or if they want to long. In my opinion, they are going to long from here. But it's Ethereum derivative, not spot exchanges. What is stress level of Michael Saylor in scale from 1 to 10? If I would be Michael Saylor, and 10 is the maximum stress factor, 10. For sure. Michael Saylor, my best friend. I have some friends out there. Michael, Sam, Paolo, all kind people. I like all of them. Well, I mean, Michael's business concept, it's long term, but I also know that he lent some money from the banks to buy some bitcoins, meaning it's not the same like in the last month where he just bought, he didn't announce anything like the bank gave us 250 million to pay, he just bought and that's it. In my opinion, if he needs banks' money to buy Bitcoin with, well, the Bitcoin price right now, it could be really a big challenge for Michael. Really a big challenge if we maintain that and we nuke even more. I don't know how much money he has, but I think his stress factor is really high at the moment. Usually, I would say Michael Saylor is very well networked. He should have some really nice contacts to institutionals, and but I'm not part of this circle, so it's really maybe they are saying, look, Michael, we will nuke the market to 15. Okay, I mean, we need to make this, Citadel, Fidelity, we need that, man. We are poor guys, we need to buy the dip. So if you need some money, we will give you the money. Okay, so don't be that worried, but we need to nuke the market 15. That's now a little joke, but that's how it works sometimes if they are so very good networked. I mean, Sam Goldman, CEO, that indicates you they are not that far away, okay? They talk to each other, and that's why it's not really surprising me to see, for example, the FTX CBD declining right now, because that would be a very common and usual institutional way to nuke the market. Sideway run, accumulate, and nuke. So, yeah, I would be very stressed if I would be Michael Saylor without any insider information, of course. Count Dracula, what are the altcoins that you are buying? Well, to be honest, nothing big. Luxo, Atom, um, what did I buy? Quant, Fusion. Well, I mean, Fusion, Fusion is a dip all the time, but I love that project, so I'm buying them. And Lit. I don't know for what lit stands for, to be honest. I need to check, but yeah, lit as well. Let me take a look. I have lit here. Uh, Light entry, possible. I just remember it. I like the project as well. Um, yeah, I didn't buy big at the moment. I just bought some few hundreds of Luxo, some few hundreds of Atom, and so on and so forth. So that's how I do that because I'm still expecting a bigger dip. So why to buy now everything? So I will buy the way down, like whales do. So let me check. Mr. Teuer or Mrs. I don't know. Sind die Oh, that's in German? Sind die Optionen on the money or in the money? Well, it's out of the money, of course. I mean, it depends what kind of options you are talking about. If you are talking about the 25K or, yeah, 34, 35, but they are out of the money. They are not in the money. So usually, if they are spending that big volume and out of the money, that's something we should think about. Woo, Inspo, don't you think the exit really was in March? No, no. To be honest, not because it's a 9 trillion market. I'm not talking about crypto, of course. I'm talking about equities. No, definitely not. Also, that it's a process. They have started to exit just, I think, last year, like crypto as well. I think everything what we have seen last year, um, at least, well, last year was different because the crypto ban from mainland China didn't happen yet, and so on and so forth. So I really think they have started to exit and to sell their bags last year. They started there, but they have too big bags just to make one exit rally. They usually need more. So if we take a look, for example, many remember I was bearish here with the crypto ban that was the mining crypto ban in China and so on. And then FTX surprised me buying 55,000 bitcoins there, and the whole way down, the whole way up, institutionals and big whales started to sell, and that was just too early. I was tweeting about that. They did billions and billions and billions in money the way up. And I said, okay, something is wrong here. It doesn't make sense. Usually they don't start to sell here at 33 or when they know the price is going up to 40, 50 or even make a new all-time high. So I was convinced that that's going to be an exit rally, and they did it even bigger than. So, in my opinion, that here was part of the exit rally. But they have a lot, and to be honest, even the market maker, if we take a look, for example, they didn't sell that much, but he didn't accumulate as well. He didn't. If we take, for example, let me check and use that here. That makes more sense. Can I use instead candles? Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay. So the market maker, or at least the entity I labeled as market maker, accumulated, for example, here he started much longer in 2018 or 2019, but here they started just to buy, to buy, to buy, to buy, to buy, to buy even more. Then at 40,000 or something, they started to distribute. Here, fake rallies distribute even more. They started to absorb from the weekends and starting some fake rallies as well, but they started to buy. Then they started to distribute, accumulate a little bit to trigger a pump, and you can see they distributed all the way up, all the way up. Since then, they didn't accumulate anything. They maintained actually that range. Um, and I said, I mean, usually they would go up even more. They don't care, and then we would see a price of Bitcoin 100,000, 150,000, and but no, the problem here was China. In my opinion, China, regulation, and ECC. That's the three problems that the market had since last summer. And that's nothing you can fix just in, 1 hour. So, yeah, that's the problem why the market maker right now, as you see here, it's not accumulating yet. And that's something I don't like to see because if he is not accumulating at 28, well, the question is he interested to buy or not? Is that still part of his redistribution? If that's the case, of course, we can see 18, 15, whatever. I'm not expecting that. to be honest. So it would make sense to make something like they did without, I mean, I would like to see an accumulation, even if it's not a big one, but an accumulation, because they love to buy low, to go up, and to start to sell the way up, but usually not at the bottom, you know. So they trigger the pump. Usually retailers and other smaller whales start to buy, expecting, okay, we go up, the market maker wants the next bull run, and so on and so forth, and he start then to sell somewhere in the half of the way up or something. And yeah, that's not what happened last year. And I think we need to be very careful with our expectations. Right now, the market maker is not showing any interest to accumulate. And for me, the market maker and what he is doing, because his trade behavior was the best from all entities, you can check that. From all entities, I have checked every single entity. Last year, I tweeted about that. Yeah, just did a whole analysis showing also related to Wyckoff, and they are so good. They are so good. They know exactly everything. I remember Janet Yellen announcement of 80% tax for crypto, and the whole market nuked. Okay, but who was nuking? Only the market maker. It it was just generating fear to buy and to sell even more afterwards. And that's what usually institutionals like to do. So it seems, and this entity of 1,000 to 10,000 bitcoins are one, two, three, or many networked institutionals, in my opinion. So, oh God. Yeah, okay. Last question. What are the accurate indicators for whale accumulation, and what will be the indicators show us? Thanks. Well, first of all, entities. They are not going to hide. I mean, many people always say, but Inspo, maybe they are hiding something and we don't see that. They don't care. They really don't care. They use different tools. They use the media to spread food and to FOMO. Um, I mean, also here I did an analysis. I remember last year I was so tired to hear all the time, the next spot ETF is coming. The next application. We will have a spot ETF next year. We will have a spot ETF in Brazil. We will have. Oh, and I said, forget that. Forget that. It's not going to happen just because we don't have a full regulated market. And that's the thing. I mean, ECC with its rejection went yeah, just they explained in detail why they are rejecting, not only because of their regulation, they also mentioned tether and potential manipulation. And that's, yeah, so they used media to FOMO people. And I'm so sure they knew before that ECC is going to reject that. They just applied. I can apply as well. So they applied, and then they used the media to generate FOMO, and they did it. And many bought the way up, while these guys were selling. And that's how it works. So, yeah, just to go back to your question, which indicators we use for the accumulation is we need to check and to track the entities. First of all, we have the fund flows. So for example, like I said before, right? If I see here that the market maker had a fund flow of 1,900 Bitcoin, and then I see, for example, that, well, right now you can't see that, but if I go here, you will see that. and I see, for example, that his balance is lifted up a bit, he bought. He didn't sell. And that's how we can track them. Even if, for example, I mean, for me, the market makers are in particular very important, but we have other very interesting entities. 100 to 1000 Bitcoin, when they start to accumulate, could be also very interesting. Or these ones, for example. Retailers, not that much. We know. I mean, if they really start to new card, all these people who bought the whole way, they will sell again in panic. And whales and institutionals know that. That's part of the game. So, yeah, we need to see then. That's it. That's really it. We did it. Yes, it is. Great. So, yeah, I would say tomorrow, many of you maybe noticed already, I will be on Roman streaming tomorrow. I retweeted his tweet about that, so we will talk about the market conditions and I guess what's going to happen next, what kind of indicators I'm using, and how I trade maybe, and many of you already know that my whole trade um, behavior is just really based on metrics, option trading, future trading, and that's it. That's really it. I just use I don't know, I didn't spend a lot of time in TA. Not I mean I like TA, but um, yeah, metrics it's more mine. I use really metrics for my trade strategy much more than TA. In TA it's just to identify my entries, my exits, and that's it. Maybe a trend line, and that's it. That's the main part. So yeah, if you want to check and to watch the stream tomorrow with Roman, I would look forward. Check my Twitter, you will see that there. And yeah, we'll see us Monday again with the daily analysis. I'm praying that Monday I will get my activation card from my bank, so I can activate my credit card and I have access to Trading Light again. That would be extremely useful. So big love to you guys. Take care, trade carefully. Yeah, and really try to trade based on what you know and not based on emotions. That's really the wrong way. Okay? So, big love. See you Monday. Have a nice time. No, see you tomorrow, but also Monday. Bye bye.